Is February 1st, 2025.
Right.
And I have the pleasure sitting here with your name is, sir? What is your name?
Charles Bess.
Okay. So tell me about you and where you came from. Where were you born and raised at?
I was born and raised in Kings Mountain, North Carolina.
And how long did you live in Kings Mountain before you came to Greensboro?
I lived in Kings Mountain until I was 20 years old. 20 years old is when I came to Greensboro in 1957.
And what made you come to Greensboro?
Because at that time, I really hadn't been too long, came out of school there. And I come up here to live with my sister to get a job.
And where'd you get a job at?
I got a job here at Woolworth. This is my first job.
So your first job after high school, this was where you
Right.
came.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what made you work at the Woolworths?
Well, I was out looking for a job that day, and I happened to come by the employment office. At that time, the employment office was on Market Street. So he sent me here, and I first started out working here, being a dishwasher.
And so that was, you said 1957 is when you started here.
1957.
Okay. So for 3 years you worked and you never served a black person at all.
Not at all.
And then February 1st, 1960 came. What do you remember about that day?
I remember on that day, February 1, that's when, that was the day when these 4 blacks walked in, and they first got some material from a counter, which was about 20 feet away. And then they stopped, turned, and sit down in Woolworth. And as they sit down on their stools there, everybody was really kind of shocked. They sit and ask for coffee. That coffee, what they asked for was denied. So they kept on sitting for about 20 minutes there, and everybody wondering what was really going on, because there had been blacks that they had sat down before them. They were told to move. That we don't serve colored folks here. They left. But what's stunning them is when these 4 A&T students sit down, they didn't move. And everybody was wondering what was really happening. There was a whole lot of whispering going on. And after they had sat down there for about 35 minutes there, the police walked by. He looked at them, and this police didn't say not one word to him. The only thing he did, he went back into a corner, stopped and looked at him while they sit.
Now, you were a dishwasher. Were there other black dishwashers or servers that were working there?
Yeah. In the dish room there was only 2 people, me and a lady back there.
Was she black?
She was black.
So did you two talk about those 4 students that day and question, what were your thoughts about it? And what did you share with her about them sitting at the counter?
Well, the lady that I worked with in the dish room there, she wasn't down there. Okay. After Miss Holt, my supervisor, promoted me down from the dishwasher to being a busboy. And that's when I could see everything. I could see what was really going on, and everybody was just shocked over the situation that these fellas wasn't leaving.
So when you were a busboy, you were going out and you were clearing the counter, and you see blacks coming in daily for weeks at this point. What were you thinking? Did you think that things were eventually going to change, or what were your thoughts when you saw a lot of black people coming and sitting at the counters now?
Well, on that first day, there wasn't a lot of blacks coming. I guess everybody had eyes on these four guys, and they're the one that walked in and said that they got something counter and sit. So that was the main thing that shocked everybody that day.
Now, as time went on and you were a busboy and you noticed that the momentum was picking up and there were more A&T students and Bennett students and Dudley students coming to the counter, what were your thoughts when you saw that it was growing?
Okay, here's what happened then. After that first day, they came back. That second day, but this time it was more than it was more than a four. There was a lot of people coming in then, and mostly like the A&T students and Dudley and different schools around. They mostly came in on that Saturday. On that Saturday, that's when the bomb threat. I remember coming to work that day, and I seen a lot of people. They were gathering around the Woolworth door, and when the manager opened the door, that's when everybody came in. They didn't walk in. They run, counter and fill all the students up. That's when most of them went the Bennett College, Dudley School, and all of them gathered in. They step out. So they sit there until about 3 o'clock in the evening. I guess it's around about 3 or 3:30 in the evening there. That's when an announcement came over the loudspeaker to close the door. And the moment they spoke of the door of the store being closed, that's when all the students they stood up and they started rejoicing. They started rejoicing. Then there's hollering and screaming going out the door, and everybody in the store started moving out. So we stayed. We went across the street and stood there for a while. And they searched the building, and then they seen everything was all right. So they told us to come back inside and dress, put our street clothes on, and go home. That was early in the evening.
So there was a bomb threat, more students coming. As all this is happening, what are your personal thoughts? Like, what were you thinking about it? Because you had a job that you had to do. You worked here, but all of this was going on, and you're also Black. So what were your thoughts when you saw? Did you want to participate, or what were your thoughts?
Uh, uh, I never did think about this about participating with them or nothing. But I felt like I still had a job though. On that Monday, uh, everything was slack then. Everything was people was coming in, but there was as many people coming in then. That Monday when I came to work, and so it went on. It went on and on through the months. We see started in February. Yeah, went on and on until 5 months up in July. That's when they started. They broke down and started serving the blacks because the company was losing money. They lost. The company was probably losing thousands of dollars. So they had to do something. So the manager and my supervisor, they got together and they said, if we are going to serve the blacks here, we want our employees to be the first one to eat. So they chose me and 3 other employees. That was on July 25th. To sit down at the counter and be served. We were served, and after that, the manager of the store, Mr. Harris, I remember him saying, yes, there were 4 heroes that were served, but there wasn't the A&T 4. They called it the banner store. They was calling he was calling the Woolworth 4 with the heroes.
Now, was it 4 men from Woolworths, or what was it?
There's 4 men.
Okay. And on that day, July 25th, 1960, what did you order to eat?
What I already I remember eating my favorite meal, my meatloaf dinner. I enjoyed it.
What all came with the meatloaf dinner?
How's that now?
What all came with the meatloaf dinner?
Oh, well, with the meatloaf dinner, they always had the cream potatoes and the green beans with it.
And what made you? Why is that your favorite meal?
What was it? My favorite meal? Because I love meatloaf, and I still love meatloaf right today.
Now, who cooked meatloaf for you early on in your life that made you love meatloaf so much?
I guess I started eating meatloaf more when I started working at Woolworth, because we had a lady, we had a cook here. She was a good cook. That's why a lot of people was stopping at Woolworth, because Woolworth had some of the best cooks. And this lady, she could really fix that meatloaf. Man, meatloaf and the steaks and stuff, man, the gravy.
Was she black? Or
She was black.
Okay.
All the cooks were blacks.
Okay. Now, on the day that you were served, the cooks were black still. Did they ever get a chance to come out and eat too, or no? On July 25th.
Oh yeah. Okay. Here's what happened on July 25th. After the four Woolworth uh, people sit and eat. That's when the other blacks started being served. They could take a seat then and eat. I'm sorry that the Woolworth four did we didn't sit together. We didn't sit together like the A&T four. We ate at different times on the break, and somebody ate on the break. Some ate at lunchtime. But I wish we had sit together
And why do you wish you would have sat together?
because it would uh, it would look more like a together thing to me with it.
Now, did you eat first, or what order did you eat? Were you the first one that was served, the second, third, or last on July 25th?
I might have been. I might have been. I might have been by about the third or fourth there because I was taking my my lunch break around about 11 or something like that. It was before 12 o'clock, I believe, when I was taking my break, and we ate.
So before July 25th, were you able to buy, as an employee, could you buy food and take it home from Woolworths, or how did you try the meatloaf before that day?
Uh, uh, Before that day, I eat meatloaf. Before before that day, I would get the meatloaf and eat it. But not at the counter though. We had a break room we went to. We needed the counter though.
Now, do you know how much it costs to eat that meatloaf dinner?
That meatloaf dinner would cost about I said that the meatloaf dinner was kind of cheap, about 50 some cent, I guess. And the the steak dinner wasn't no more about 75.
Wow.
But that meatloaf, the meatloaf was a little bit cheaper.
So 65 years later, from February 1, 1960, how far do you think the world has changed?
Well, since 1960, I see that the whites and the blacks, we have started eating more. We have started eating more together, being shared more together. Nobody paid much. Nobody paid no attention about it. Um, Here's what I think really happened. Okay, years back, there was a lot of rowdy people. Uh, all those, those people that were against the blacks had died out. But now another generation has come up now. That 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 other that second generation that's coming up that came up. We could serve and be eating together, going out together more than the people from years back.
So do you think it'll ever be a day when everybody can sit in peace and just eat and enjoy each other from different races and backgrounds?
That would be great. That'd be great, babe. That'd be great. Uh, um, I believe um, um, this world would be a whole lot better. Well, it is getting better. Uh, 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 been eating together, working together. Uh, the blacks can have a job. What the white have, and uh, we don't want nothing. We don't have to face no more. We don't have to go to the bathroom and see color here, white here. I'm glad we don't see that no more.
What about how long did you work at Woolworths?
I worked at Woolworth 4 years, from 57 to 61. I left in 1961.
And where did you work from there?
Where did I go next
Mhm.
to work? I went to a mill. I went to a place called uh, Odell Mill Supply, where they work, and we got along good there. It was just I wanted I really wanted to find a job that's making just a little bit more money. Now speaking of money now, I worked hard here as a busboy. You had to be fast to be a busboy to keep up. Uh, if you were slow, you couldn't make it.
Now, were you allowed to get tips as a busboy or no?
No, we didn't get no tips. Well, just the waitress got the tip.
Now, how much did you make as a busboy back then?
I think when I left, I think when I left me, I was making around about $35 more, or something like that. Now when I first started here in '57, uh, the lady come by me, give me money in envelope, you know. I look inside of it, and I had $29, and I thought I had a lot of money. I thought I thought I looked good for $29 because of that little job I do in Kings Mountain, like cutting grapes up. I would get more about $5-6, and then here I was making $29.
Now, was
I doing good.
was that $29 a week?
$29 a week. And but I could take that $29 and go a long ways with it. You can go to grocery store and $29, and they had enough money left.
What do you think about the A&T 4 when you think about them walking in here on February 1, 1960, and what they did for the world to change things? Because you said other blacks had sat down before but left.
Right.
They sat and stayed. What do you think about them and their efforts to change the world?
Well, I think okay, the people that sit and couldn't and when they were told to leave, they left. When the A&T folk came in, they sit and didn't leave. That was a big change, right? That was big. That was a big change right then. It opened. It opened. It opened. It opened the eyes to the blacks and the whites, because okay, now on the black side, on the black side, around Nick. At that time, the blacks, we were selling in our own way. Now, if it had been left up to the blacks that was in when they're around 50, 60 years old, it would never have got started. So it really took the younger generation to start it because young guys out there they was afraid to sit down. Now the black I mean the old people, they're gonna be afraid about going to jail. The young people, but the younger people, not afraid. They're gonna stand there. The young people will. So it took the young people from A&T to get this movement going. That's the way. That's my view of it.
So that should, for sure, were some of the older blacks unhappy with them starting the sit-ins, or were they happy?
They were happy about it. Oh yeah, I've been told was happy about it. They were afraid to go out there and try to do it themselves and do it. Now, the NT4, when they said, I think they was prepared. They were prepared. They were prepared for about going to jail, and because there were people had their back. I know. I remember one man right here on Market Street. He was a white man. He's a white man. He's white man. He run a clothing store. His name was Ralph Johns. And these same A&T people, they used to go up to they used to go up to Ralph John's place there, and he would boost them on. He was behind them when them sit. When they sit that day, Ralph Johns, he was behind the A&T4. So if I believe if they had went to jail that day, I believe he would have got him out.
What do you think about being alive in 1960? Because it sounds like it was a lot going on. When you sit back and think about it, what was it like for you?
Yes, there was a lot going on that day. There was a lot going on, and I'm just I praise the Lord that I'm still around to tell the story about what happened in the Woolworth City movement. That day when it first started, when I went home, I was rejoiced right then. I remember going home. I remember going home that day in a cab. Right today, I don't know why I called a cab home that day, because I had no automobile at that time. And I told the cab driver, I told him, do you know what happened at Woolworth today? 4 guys from A&T walked in the Woolworth and sat down and wouldn't move. When they were told to get up, the cab driver, he was surprised. He he was old man. He was proud. He said what? He said, keep on talking, brother. I like what you said. Keep on talking. He brought me. He took me home, and I goes in the house there. Seems like I just want to tell everybody. I just want to tell everybody what happened at Woolworth that day. I went in there and I said, sis, do you know what happened? Four guys, A&T walked into Woolworth today and sat down, and when they were told to move, they wouldn't get up. Keep on sitting. My sister was rejoicing by it too. And after my brother-in-law, he came that I had to tell him. And at that time, Paradise was on was down here on McCartney Road. I had to go up there and I had to spread news up there a little bit. So what happened? I just want to tell everybody.
And did people in your family come to you or the community come to you for updates every day from that point forward?
Yes, they did. They did. And I was talking to at that time when the guys were sitting, they told me they told me not to say anything, not to say anything to them. Just keep on walking. So I remember on now, especially on the Saturday, but on the Saturday on the bum thread. Seemed like that day was when I got a little rest because I didn't have nothing to do. The only thing I had to do was walk up down the aisle there. Because my manager told me, say, Charles, just keep busy, move around, don't stand up and just look, just keep busy doing something. So I was just walking up and down the counter doing nothing.
So you didn't speak to anybody that was protesting. You just kept walking.
Sometimes sometimes I'll have the bus credit there like I'm doing some work, but not with because wasn't nobody getting served because everybody at the counter there was blacks. Wasn't nobody getting no served. The only thing I had to do was just move them down the counter, doing nothing.
So when you went home that day, was it more rejoicing because there was more people that were sitting at the counters now that were black? So what did you tell your sister about that?
Well, on that, you mean on the last day, on the last day of the bub tree you talk about, ain't
Yes.
I? Okay. That day I went home and that's when I want to spread that too. I said close down the place. Place closed down. And it was just something else. And another thing, when those students left that day of the burn prep, they came out. They came out rejoicing. They went over here to Market Street there, and then they went down Market Street. They were just rejoicing about it, because at that time they knew that they had won the victory. They knew that one.